Right, hello again. I jumped on last night just to play a bit and just doing some diverse world, no moving to kind of become a bit less rusty because you know I've taken a little bit of time off. So yeah, I ended up getting a country streak. So let me just explain some of my thought processes here. So this one could well be Ukraine or Russia, but I think the road quality and the lack of huge number of bollards on the corner there probably made me go with Ukraine. This one, well, there's a URL there, but the mountainousness of it probably push you towards New Zealand as well. Got the wrong island. I think this one ends up being New Zealand again. It's a very urban location. I recognise the street sign as being a New Zealand style. We've got hills to the south, which I kind of recognise for Christchurch. I can't find any like 100% solid clues, but I recognise those hills to the south as being Christchurch, so I go there and it ends up being right. So streets on 4. Now we've got a Colombian cross there on the back of the sign, which just makes that a very easy number 5. It's a Mexico pole, that kind of octagon shape with the engraved writing along the side. Kind of between 2 ridges here, so I just pick a spot. Probably not going to be too far from the kind of centre of the country around Mexico City, given the climate. This one was a little bit harder. There's new Gen 4 coverage in Croatia, which I haven't really seen too many times. It's clearly a kind of hillier part of Central Europe to Balkan area, but I couldn't really make the buildings fit for anywhere but Croatia. Didn't quite feel right for like Czechia or Slovakia. The roofs felt different, so I thought Croatia, and I was actually quite pleased with that because this new Gen 4 Europe coverage can be pretty hard to guess. I think this is just US, like these trees are quite southern, and then the speed limit sign rather than the maximum sign, which you would find in Canada, correctly getting Alabama there. South Africa style signs here, which you recognise once you've seen them enough times. Ends up being north of Pretoria. This should just be very northern part of Australia with those bollards and this kind of red soil and that slightly more tropical vegetation. Takes us to 10. Got a bit of French here, and we've got this kind of bay to our west. It doesn't really seem like that is something that would fit mainland France, so I think of Corsica immediately, and then I see, yeah, we've got these bays here that fit pretty nicely, so I just pick that one. No need for me to really look around here, just checking that mainland France didn't have anything that could fit, and yeah, it is west side of Corsica. We had language clues there and other things. That's Catalan language, so ending at AT is quite a good sign of it being Catalan. In Spanish it would end in AD, that kind of word. It ends in AT, and it was Balearic, which I didn't even consider. This is generic Baltic location. Red dirt roads, often quite a good idea to go Estonia. That kind of reddish dirt, and it's right on the border. This is very similar to that last one in Northern Australia we saw near Darwin. Similar vegetation, similar red kind of grain to the road. Should just be Russia. The white outside and inside road lines. These trees. I decided to go in like Amur or something like that, but ends up being very, very wrong. Should just be Russia again. There's no, like, we've got Cyrillic, we've got Russian style architecture. There's no reason to go anything but Russia here. We've got Korean script, yellow road lines, so ruling out a few other East Asian countries, but then the script being the easiest clue there. It's just Ghana, more coastal style architecture, so I go down south. Thai kilometre marker or road number marker there. The 3s seem to be there, and I know it's hilly. I just kind of wanted to find that road, but I wasn't really able to. I knew it should be north, but Thought maybe it's just West Bangkok there, but sort of hilly. So normally it's going to be north or west. Normally, Chile with this aridity and the white road lines, the white car. Inca de Oro. I feel like I've even seen that mentioned somewhere once before, but can't really remember where it is. So I just kind of click a road and give up. Takes us to 20. This is actually this is an Ari, but it says Targu or Mures or something. Can't remember. It says it there somewhere. It said Mures or something like that. So I thought it's probably Targu Mures in Romania. Now we've got this kilometer marker. This is Gen 4 Colombia coverage. The cross on the back of the sign there helping again, because we can't really see any yellow plates or anything, but I think with it being the Gen 4 coverage, Colombia definitely makes a lot of sense here, but you never know when it's going to be Mexico or something like that. Danish street signs and stuff, so straightforward. Japan with the low cam. Not many clues around here, but if it's very flat, the road feels like it could be Dutch. The buildings look pretty Dutch as well. I feel like it's Netherlands over Belgium. So yeah, there we go. That is 25. Okay. Next one, maybe UK, or let me have a look here because I can't remember. Yeah, I go UK. You never know, that Ireland there is not impossible. Ends up being just over the Welsh border. This is Nigeria with that number plate. I feel like I recognise it from when I was in Lagos. I think Abuja's possible, but I think it's more likely to be like Victoria Island, Lekki, that kind of area. But this looks. I spent a bit of time actually in that specific area where I ended up guessing, and it looked a lot like this. It was actually a little bit further east though. And this one is, yeah, that should be Italian language there. Architecture again is good for Italy. There's definitely a bit of architecture bleed between a few countries like Italy, France, Spain, but end up being very close there. Po Valley, where it's nice and flat. What did I go for here? I think I went for Sweden. Architecture fits, and just the coverage. It's just kind of, from experience, I feel like this would be a Sweden location. The hilliness too, like Finland is mostly flatter than that. This is Norway from the dashes, the mountainousness, the speed sign. Takes us to 30. This looks like Peru to me, but I'm sure I'll have a look around. Chicla, I know I have seen that before, but I can't really remember where I should have been looking. But I'm pretty sure I've seen that down. Must have had a location there once. But I know it's Peru. I'm just seeing if I can find the town. Again, I was sort of going for Country Street, but I just wanted to get a few games under my belt and get some feel for the game back after a little bit of time off. We we've got plates there that fit for Albania, like Italy style. Some of them being red on the left-hand side as well. But then I think there was an Albanian beer advert. They're French signs. Simple as that, really. You get the like D road number sitting on top, that yellow bit, and then that font is just French style for road signs. This is just Spain. We've got Spanish language. We've got the no hunting, the hunting sign. So it's not a no hunting sign. I think it's actually like a hunting goes on this private land. I think just landscape wise, no reason to go to any extreme part of the country, so the middle sort of made sense there. Nice. 35. Very Australia looking landscape with these eucalyptus style trees. You'll notice the curb is like sloping at a very extreme angle. That's a thing in Western Australia, but I didn't really spot it until I saw Albany, and I do know that town. Yeah, so but you can. Then I noticed the curb, and that's the Western Australia curb style. That's a little region guessing tip. This one, again, one of those Europe ones that's a little bit ambiguous. The fact we've got no antenna, maybe that's quite common in Serbia, North Macedonia, and a couple of other countries too. But I just wanted to trust my gut there. I felt that it was Serbia, and I went with Serbia rather than overthinking it. Should be Indonesia here. Maybe Malaysia here would have like a double white road line. Maybe that's a big difference. I kind of knew that wasn't Java as well. I just didn't know where to guess. I didn't see any good clues for region. Right, this one is Spain, but you can see here what I said about the architecture style. Like it's not so different to Italy. It's very impossible for me to articulate it. I feel like someone like Simi could do a better job of that. But I wondered if these no overtaking and speed signs. Oh, actually, yeah, I kind of forgot, actually. The fact there's no white border. I went based on my gut, but actually there was a much easier thing I could have checked. The fact there's no white border around the red on that speed sign means it's not going to be Italy, it's going to be Spain. This is Cambodia with this Khmer script, so that's a very easy one. Kind of had that sandier soil, so I went more down here, but normally near Siem Reap it's some sort of richer red colour, but what can you do? This is Bangladesh. The Bengali script. This is the older coverage with the car. Normally a straightforward country to recognise. I was seeing if I could read anything there, but it wasn't really anything useful. Yellow taxi plates are a thing in Chile. Just wanted to make sure my memory wasn't tripping me up here, but yeah, it definitely should be Chile. I think climate-wise, nearish to Santiago makes sense, so I went with Viña. This looks a lot like Uruguay. Then we've got the trident-shaped poles there that you can see, and then it says Ruta 108. So kind of feel like just in case, because I think you sometimes find those poles in Alps. Maybe thought just in case I might as well double check, see if I can find the road, and then I'll be comfortable. Even though it's a straightforward Uruguay round, just because I'm beyond 40 now, I'm just playing some of them a bit more safe. Yeah, and I did see Kasupa there at the last second. Alberta bollards there, the white with the double black bits at the top. So very, very useful to have that. Otherwise, you might get stuck in like a US-Canada 50-50. But then we've got the same bollard again, so double Alberta. Very good having regional clues like that because it means you don't even need to worry about it being US. I had a great instinct here to go near the coast. I went east coast, but because I saw mountains east, I changed it to west coast. But I should have just stayed where I was. There's even a Malaysia flag there, so not a lot to talk about. And I was annoyed that I changed my guess. UK with a double yellow, no parking lines, yellow rear plates, English language. Don't see any good reason not to go England here. I just kind of plonk it. I actually thought this might be Qatar because I've very, very rarely seen Qatar coverage, and I couldn't even remember if there was car meta or not. I think actually there is, but I was like, is this maybe Qatar? But then it actually says Dubai municipality there, so that takes us to 48. Tunisia. I don't know what I see here that makes it Tunisia, but it just there's a flag there, but mostly the trees. I guess these Peugeot taxis are quite common. Then the dryness made me go south, ends up being Djerba. This should just be Japan with this architecture, that roof style in particular. We've got signs and stuff. The diamond shapes on the road. 50 streak there, so this is some nice Gen 4 Austria or Slovenia with these bollards. I just send Austria without overthinking it. I feel like it looks more like Austria. On to 51. This is, yeah, Asia, black car. South Korea comes to mind first. Just check the script to be safe. And the fact we're driving on the right there as well. This should be Argentina. White lines, I feel like white centre lines in Argentina, I feel like are more common with certain types of coverage. Maybe, I think that was just Gen 3, but I think in Gen 4 you see it a lot. I was annoyed at that turkey guess. I should have recognised that was East. But yeah, we're on 54 now. That's a Danish sign, so that's a free round if you recognise it. The red on white. 55. Dipping below 20k there for the first time in a while. I was kind of thought I had a little hedge streak built up there. That's a, yeah, it says .sk there, but that bollard is Slovakia or Czech bollard. It felt like Slovak though. Like I felt, even before panning around, I thought it was probably Slovakia. Australia style. Quite a few palms there, so I went further north. It ended up being Queensland. I know these towns, so we're going to be just between them on the 19. So I just click without really trying to pinpoint. Just pick a random intersection. Brazil style. I think it's the architecture really. Like that's the type of car you get in like Colombia, Mexico, Ecuador, Brazil. But the architecture made me want to go Brazil, and then it actually said Roraima. This is Japan with that truck with the yellow plate and strange architecture, lots of palms, so it's got to be one of the islands further south. Yeah, Ukraine here, the red car, which you can find in Russia too, but I thought this felt like Ukraine. It felt southern with the soil, slightly sandier. That'll be New Zealand bollard. Probably North Island with the kind of slightly more rolling hills rather than mountains and flat bits. That's an Argentina road marker, so the 144. I spot it up there. I think I had the 5k and moved. This one tripped me up a little bit. I thought that was probably Italian, but I couldn't really get many architectural clues, and yeah, this building's a little bit weird. I actually wondered, it could be Romania, because Romania's a Romance language too, and I feel like I felt 90% sure it was Italy, but I was wondering if, with it being a Romance language, if that could ever be Romania. Just because I'm not too familiar with Romanian as a language, I just wondered, but it was Italy. That's Ecuador bollard. And the chevrons and the yellow road line and just the general feel. It's never one clue you're looking at really. Like this is Peru partly because of the black and white posts, but you know you can find them in like Malaysia or UAE, so you have to have a little bit of to combine it with other clues as well, just like the landscape and the road. And this is just Switzerland. Those white signs with the black arrow. Concrete road here. Bit of English language. Driving on the right. Tropical, hilly, lots of mopeds and stuff, so Philippines makes sense. Okay, I'm getting close to 70 now, so quite good for me. I'm not. It's not my strongest format, and I don't really play it very often. I'm kind of glad to have a solid streak. That's, yeah, Java style roofs there, the tiled ones, terracotta. Oh, this is funny. I see these like posts, those little blocks by the side of the road, and the silvery car, and I just assumed it was Bhutan, and then I turn around and I'm like, wait, this is not Bhutan at all. Because yeah, Bhutan has these like stone like markers by the side of the road that look a bit like that. Yeah, I don't know. Then I realised actually concrete road again. Philippines makes most sense. Could we be driving right? Probably. Yeah, I just thought Philippines felt quite good here. I think I just threw myself by getting it so wrong off the bat, which was a bit silly. But you never know when something like this can just be not what you're expecting, like an Indo or something, but does end up being Luzon there. I know that's a specific type of bollard, maybe. I don't know. I thought it might be Wyoming or something, but I don't actually know if that's a thing. It looked like Wyoming landscape. Yeah, this one's funny because when suddenly you find yourself in like a car park and you don't quite have all the road meta that you're used to, but it's American style cars, it's English language. I'm just making 100% sure I rule out Canada here, and it doesn't seem like Canada whatsoever. It's kind of sandy, there are dunes, so I know it must be coastal. Probably flirt with the idea of it being like coastal Texas, but then decide to go New Jersey, Delaware area. This one's funny. I wasn't sure if this was. I think Mexico was my strongest sense here, but I wondered if it could be Colombia. I think that octagonal pole maybe is. I see that kind of engraved writing down the side, which I'm quite familiar with from playing a fair amount of Mexico. Some reason I decided it's got to be like really south, but I don't think it is. Ends up being, yeah, Guanajuato. Double yellow and these road numbers and signs and stuff can be Taiwan. Alright, this is one where I take forever. I wanted to break 75. I know this is Slovakia or Czechia, but we do have town names, and I scan for quite a while just finding the town because I really don't know which one to go for here. Czechoslovakia first, kind of easier to scan. So I'm looking at that long one, something with a Z, Zelektrovic or something, and then there's Sirovic or something. Czech pronunciation's poor. Obviously this is sped up because I spent several minutes. Should get there pretty soon. I know where it is now, it's down there. I see it. And then I see that one. Yeah, I found it after a while. Could have just plonked the 50-50, but I really wanted to break 75. Then let's see, we get a nice easy Norway round. Even, I mean, that sign makes it Norway. I know it says Gothenburg as well, but again, concrete road, driving right, RC Cola, our friend. Yeah, just Philippines again. I feel like it's Luzon. Then yeah, something happens here. For some reason I thought this was like Vicksburg or next to Vicksburg, and it was, but for some even though this is easy Lesotho, like it actually is easy Lesotho. I told myself I was going to not overthink it and just go with my gut, which had been South Africa, and that was a stupid thing to do. I should have just. Lesotho was always the only option here, really. I just did it, and I don't know. I lost concentration or got tired and just kind of threw there when I didn't really need to. I should have got that, and God knows where it would have gone after that. But yeah, that was it. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll probably try it again. I might try it on a harder map though, because a lot of those rounds are kind of free. But it goes to show how you can get the country pretty reliably with those type of locations. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you soon.